To add to this, Sonia, the question begs itself, which Northern Elders Forum? Because there's a Northern Elders Forum that's chaired by Alhaji Tanko Yakasai. And that Northern Elders Forum has totally bought into the conference. Alhaji Tanko Yakasai is a member is one of the delegates. What I noticed that Mr. Paul Unongo, my respected senior, and a few people are doing now are more like, oh, so we were not considered, therefore, the Yorubas put it this way, kakake kuma jesese, afisha wada. If the mouse will not get the cheese, then the cheese will not be eaten by anybody. That is more like what this group of so-called Northern Elders Forum are doing. The kind of declaration was a declaration of total irresponsibility, so far as I'm concerned.
Well, let me take a different, if it's still on that
yes,
question,
please.
Because I like to, there are a lot of things on this matter that I would have loved to. I don't think we should be entirely put off by some of these contradictions that we are witnessing. Just so that, one, people will even take advantage of those contradictions to emphasize on the need, on why we must move on. And I take it from where my friend, Mr. Saya, left off, to say that in the course of nation building, even in constitutional democracy, this idea of creating a space for dialogue, discourse, and debate is by far more important than some of the strategies that most people think are the best. The entire Northeast is at a state of war as we speak now. If there are ways by which, in the spirit of conflict resolution, you can introduce any form of discourse around these warring people, you'll be shocked that the prospect to the end of it will begin from those initiatives. And therefore, whoever has come out to say, I don't believe in it, he reserves the right to say it, even if he said it stupidly. But I think that we've moved and we've left. The train is about taking off. Look, some of us are even the worst critics of what has happened. And it's quite situated within the context of the history of this idea. It is never Jonathan's idea or Basanjo's idea. No. These are ideas that were conceived by way many Nigerians. And I take you a little historical to say that, look, it was actually because of the persistent perennial military rule in African states that gave rise to this. It happened in Togo. About that time in 1990, thereabout, the idea was accepted, was sold to Babangida. He accepted it. But as the Maradona that he was, he also needed to scuttle it when the variables that would define his regime were also going to play. The late Akaba Shorum, Professor Woloshenka, even Mr. Falana, and a host of others about that time, conceived this idea, took proactive steps, even organized, kicked off at the National Theatre before Babangida came with his soldiers to disperse them. It didn't end there. You had even Abacha. Abacha convoked a conference. Yes. But again, his intention to transmute into a life president scuttled that idea. Obasanjo gave us. Obasanjo's intention through the totem, swallowed the whole idea. So I'm thinking that, yes, there are many of us who have serious reservations about this, particularly the outcome, particularly the implementation of the outcome. There are those who have raised fundamental questions as, what is the legal framework or mechanisms that will take care of this huge amount of money that is now deployed into talk instead of creating jobs? How do we ensure that 3 months, and I can bet you it cannot be 3 months, because 1 month after that time, after the commencement of this program, the politics of alignment regarding pushing ideas will take up to that 1 month. It cannot be 1 month. So let them be ready to spend more, because I understand 7 billion is to take care of 3 months. So how do we ensure that after this time, after these resources, we will not come back to what the president was, if you allow me, okay, what the president said about returning the whole thing to the National Assembly. These are questions. These are questions that beg for answer, and I think we can do well by focusing on those aspects of it.
Okay.
Just so to guide what is going on.